In this video, we're going to talk about the JOptionPane class. Now, the JOptionPane class provides dialog boxes that we can display to the user to do certain things. So there's four that you'll need to know for this subject. So show confirm dialog, that just asks a confirming question like yes, no, or cancel. Show input dialog prompts the user for some sort of input. Show message dialog just tells the user about something that has happened, and show option dialogues is a combination of all three. So let's have a look at some examples. So you will see in the examples, I'm going to show you a message dialog. I'm also going to do an input dialog, and I'll let you play around with the other two. Now, the first thing that we need to do is import JOptionPane, and you'll notice it's part of the swing package. So we've used the util package so far for our array lists, things like that. We've used the IO package for files, and we'll be using that in another video. This particular one is part of the swing package. JOptionPane is part of the swing package. So a message dialog is very easy to use. We just call JOptionPane. We don't need to create an object. These are static methods on the JOptionPane class, so we don't need to create an instance of JOptionPane. We can just call the methods straight off the JOptionPane class because they're static. So I can simply say JOptionPane dot call the show message dialog. I need to pass a null as the first parameter. Don't worry too much about that. All you need to know is that we need to pass a null as the first parameter. And then we just put the message that we want to display. So let's run that. So you notice also that dialogues here is a static method. So I can call it straight off the class. So here I'm going to call dialogues. And there we go, there's our message dialog that's just popped up. It's a simple message box that just says hello, click OK, finished. So let's look at something slightly more complicated. Let me just uncomment this code here. So you can see I have an input dialog here. Notice once again it is a static method, so I can call it straight off the JOptionPane class. And I use it in a very similar way to the message dialog. The show input dialog takes two parameters. The first one is null. Once again, don't worry too much about it, just so long as you understand we need to pass null as the first parameter. What that's for is beyond the scope of this unit. Then we pass a second string, and this is what we want to be displayed to the user. So in this case, I've said, what is your name? One thing to notice though, show message dialog, we didn't have to do anything with. Show input dialog is going to return a string. So what I want to do is assign it to a string variable. So I've created a string variable called name, and I've set it equals JOptionPane show input dialog. So once this input dialog has popped up, it's going to have an input box where the user can type something. When they hit enter, it will return a string, which I assign to my string variable. Then I'm just printing it out, just so we can see it on the console. But then what I'm doing is I'm using that string in a message dialog. So I'm going to have another dialog popping up that says your name is name. So for us to be able to use the input dialog and get some benefit out of it, we must capture that name, the string that it's going to return, and we need to be able to use it in a later place. So that's why we assign it to a string variable. So let's just compile this. I will run dialogues. So here we go. What is your name? I can type my name in, Alex. And here's my message dialog showing. Your name is Alex.